Eric Peterson with Arborist here. Today's business tip, we're going to talk about the soft skills that every sales arborist needs to have. Now look, we get it most of the time in the tree care industry. The sales arborist is someone that basically came up through the organization, a veteran arborist that knows how to get the job done, knows what it should take on timing and what equipment and all that, and they move them into a sales arborist spot. Well, I was recently reading an article in an insurance magazine that talked about the soft skills of salespeople, and I thought this is very applicable to the tree care industry. So the article was written by Kellie Lail, and it's the Independent Agent magazine, the May 2025 issue. But she points out 6 skills that every salesperson should have, and I thought, again, they fit right into the tree care space. The first one is active listening. This is number 1 for a reason. Clearly, as professionals, we need to make sure that we are truly listening and understanding to what the customer is saying. Now, I feel there's a disconnect because a lot of times we hear what the customer wants from tree care, but we don't ask more. We don't actually dig into it to see why they're asking for that. And I've connected also another link about digging deeper on a sales call, but actively listening to what they're saying, how they're feeling about their situation, and truly being engaged in that conversation, eye contact and everything. That's number 1. Number 2 is empathy. Let's face it, most of the calls that you get as a tree service revolve around some negative issue about their trees. It could be that my tree is dying, the leaves on the tree are yellowing. It could be I need this removed because it feels a danger. Whatever it is, usually it's around a negative circumstance. We get kind of numb to that in the tree care space and probably don't react with as much empathy as we could. Understand that they're dealing with this probably for the first time, maybe in their life or maybe in a while. So give them some leeway, show them some support, some empathy that this is an emotional experience for them to be talking about their trees this way. And then you can move forward into the actual sales process. So empathy is number 2. Number 3 is effective communication, and this is kind of a broader one, and it encompasses the first 2. But really, being able to be clear on expectations for the customer, on what to expect when working with our company, what to expect with this type of treatment or this type of pruning or whatever it might be. Just being direct and effective with your communication, talking about timelines as much as you can, and talking about the whole process. Is kind of setting up that customer journey. We also link to another article that we wrote about the customer journey if you want to take a look at that and go through it in your organization. Number 4 would be problem solving. Every job that you're going to work on has some element of problem solving. You know that. But the sales arborist is the first line of problem solver. That's the individual that gets out there and starts to put the pieces together on what the job's going to look like. They need to be able to do that. You know that, they know that, but if they can't effectively problem solve, they're not going to be a good sales arborist. Number 5 is adaptability, and emotional resilience. We know we're not going to get every job. We need to have some resilience, some emotional stability that says it's okay if I don't win this job, I'm still a good person. I'm not a failure in life. So you need to have some emotional resilience, but you also need to be adaptable. In the fact, if something's changed or something comes up or there's a new partner that's involved in the decision or whatnot, you have to be able to roll the punches a bit and be able to still overcome that to get the sale. And the very last one is also very important. That's attention to detail. We know that there's plenty of room for mistakes in tree care. And it's highlighted even more when the sales arborist isn't out on the project doing the job. So if that's the case in your organization, which it isn't in many of them, make sure that sales arborist needs to pay attention to detail. They need to make sure they have clear notes for the crew and have set clear expectations for the customer. Those are the 6 soft skills that every sales arborist should have. If you're struggling with any of these, please reach out to a team member. We have a great sales and marketing Thrive program that can help you build your sales team, and focusing on some of these things is exactly what happens within that package. So thanks for listening. Be safe out there. Talk soon.